Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Critical Thought. So, I got sent this Dubai Porta Potty video, and I thought that we could watch it together and get our real time reaction. So, hope you guys are ready. Okay, let's do it.
Oh! Somebody! Oh! He needs some milk! God damn!
In recent times, social media has been exposing the Dubai Porta Potty world, uncovering what really goes down with your favorite IG models when they travel to Dubai. The term Dubai Porta Potty is a new code word that's used to describe individuals of easy virtue that have taken their lust for money to a whole new level. This is done by engaging in the most degrading sexual fetishes by high-end local and international clientele. The term itself suggests what some women are willing to do in order to fund their luxury lifestyle. One of the confessions from these models reads as follows.
These guys are so rich, hate their wives, and bored with life, they are willing to pay anything for their crazy sex fetishes. And I was crazy enough to expect the money. I've had to be gang and butt-kicked by over 20 Saudi royalty at once, made 40k in 2 days, so it was worth it. I've literally been pissed on and sh'd on so many times I just don't understand why they like it. After the third time you get shit on, you get used to it. I've had to have sex with a male German Shepherd dog in front of them. I've had to stick numerous objects in my ass. And their asses, well, I've got paid to eat shit. I've got paid to get beat up. I even had to stick a live salmon in some 65-year-old's man ass. I've had sex with their 14-year-old boys to make them men. I've drank cups of CM and have smeared my face with their shit. So to all you ladies that are going to bash me, I'm 24 years old and have $1 million liquid in my bank account. I'm now retired and can have normal sex with whomever I want.
As we can see, some of them are actually okay with what they're doing, whether it be being defecated on or being used as a tool. You have to wonder, at what mental state do you have to be in to allow someone to do such a thing to you? But hey, at least you got $1 million, right? In some instances, these girls are recruited by rich individuals in Dubai to act like dogs. In some cases, they are caged up and fed, for example, in this image right here. Now, there are sites that recruit these girls as well as share these confessions. I mean, these sites even go as to share disclaimers as to why they do this and also warn you not to do this. Here is an example of one of their disclaimers where they compare themselves to cigarette companies, stating, "We still have to engage you with clear conscience just in the same moral declaration and manner with which tobacco companies remind you that smokers are liable to die young, even as they still produce and sell to the consumers." But what happens if you quote-unquote lured into the situation and your mind is not strong enough to handle this type of trauma?
I agreed to date a millionaire in Dubai. Hello, I'm a 24-year-old female, and honestly God and nature gave me a beauty and a dream body. I was once a maid of honor to a young dolphin that was being politically projected in my country, whose name I will not reveal, otherwise it would be recognized very quickly. Sensibly, 2 weeks ago, I went to Dubai for the first time with a friend who usually go there. She told me there you could get golden balls, have a lot of money. She offered me the ticket and accommodation, and said, "We are only going for 5 days to enjoy the charms of the Dubai." Arriving at the site, I was completely in awe and fascinated with this country and this world. Everything shines and whispers pride. I told myself I was born on the wrong side. Dubai made me dream. On the third day, I was approached by a strange man. A man, when you look at him, you know he's full of money. He told me he liked me and wanted to spend a night with me in a quiet place. He proceeded and told me in exchange for a day shopping at the stores of my choice and a large amount money donation, $50,000. I was left speechless at how surprised I was at his proposal. I spoke to my friend, and she tells me that here in Dubai is like this, But there's nothing to fear, that I should think of all the bags, branded accessories, etc., that I could have in one day, not counting the enormous amount of money I would have in exchange for just one night. I thought within me, no one needs to know that I've traded my body for jewelry and clothes. We are far from home. What happens in Dubai dies in Dubai. Then I made the mistake of accepting that exchange. The appointment was then scheduled for the next day.
Okay, so she says that she sensibly went to Dubai. Okay, from that statement alone, we already know that she wasn't coerced or influenced into going to Dubai. So her mind was in a clear state, so she wasn't under any influences. Everything was clear in her conscience when she chose to go to Dubai. She goes on to say that she was approached by a man who looked like he had money and he wanted her to spend the night with him. This is the part that's really interesting. After having that ordeal with that guy, she decides to go and confide in her friend, and her friend says that she should focus on the luxury goods and items. People, watch your friends. Porta potty aside, your friend is advising you to prostitute yourself. That in itself should be a red flag. The fact that she's asking you to go and sleep with someone else, your friend should be there to protect you, to watch out for you. You do not know the place that you're in. She shouldn't be advising you to sleep with someone else, no matter who they are. You do not know what disease they have. You do not know what they carry, what their situation is. Watch out for your friends. That's what friends are for. But on the other hand, we live in a crazy world. Some people will take advantage of your friendship. I mean, the girl even had to think about it. The fact that she said what happens in Dubai will die in Dubai clearly states that she's in the conscious mind. She knows that things happen in Dubai. The fact that she said that makes us know that she was preparing for sex. She knows that prostitution was wrong, and yet she still went through with it. We tend to forget that in the process of chasing our happiness, we may lose our soul.
On D-Day, a man came to pick me up at 10 o'clock h from my hotel in a poser Lamborghini Diablo, and took me to see Mr. who approached me. Then he asked me to sign a non-confidence agreement, because in Dubai, due to their religion, all secrecy was little, and why one night I would be entitled to everything I wanted. So he quickly handed me a bag of bills to the guy who came to pick me up, who more looked like bodyguard due to physical advantage, and ordered him to take me shopping. Then he handed me a big envelope. I had a dream day, and amongst Dubai's major stores, among restaurants, massage parlors, giant shoppings, and malls, etc. For the first time I was able to buy an original Chanel bag and Hermes sandals. I bought perfumes, clothes from Yves Saint Laurent, Prada snacks, Louis Vuitton wallets, Balenciaga, and many more brands of the elite. After my shopping, his bodyguard put me to my hotel and told me to prepare for 10 p.m. He will come back to pick me up to meet my boss needs. I couldn't believe it. Seemed like a dream. I was so happy with my shopping. I really didn't care what came next.
They made her sign an NDA. Though the NDA is used for individuals not to disclose or discuss any activities that happens in a particular setting or event, a lot of the times the people that make these girls sign the NDA do not really disclose the full story. They do not make them see the full picture. So the women are usually going into it signing this NDA. The new girls rather are going into it signing this NDA with this delusional view of this world. From the bags, cars, and money, the women are embracing this delusional world that they are experiencing and fail to question what is the true cost of what they are experiencing. Notice how she is picked up from the hotels, taken to do her shopping, then return. This is very similar to a farm animal being fed and pampered and ultimately prepared to be slaughtered by the farmer. Understand the people you surround yourself with, people. Are they elevating you, or are they preparing you for your demise? The friend was so nonchalant and carefree about the whole situation. It kind of begs to question, was she in on it? You know, depending on the time that the guy approached her and how quickly he did, maybe she might have sent the guy to her, but that is something that we won't know. For this next part of the story, I have to put a little disclaimer. Hide your kids. Close the shutter, whatever, because this part gets really intense.
Around 2200 hours H on time, the bodyguard came to pick me up and took me to the house of the billionaire man. We were stationed in his mansion by the sea. We went to the pier, we entered a super sophisticated boat, and we went to the sea. OMG, my ordeal was about to begin. He wasn't alone. There were 4 other men with him. I didn't have the right to talk. I just had to hold on until it was all over. I thought I would only have to deal with one man. Everything was changing already. No, I don't even have words. It was far more than I could handle that night. I was their sexual object. Actually the object of their sexual sadism. They painted me in all the holes. They put me on a leash. And I was forced to have sex with a dog. And big. I couldn't speak. They tied me up, with a gag that had a pink ball. They shoved things into my and vagina. So suffocating C held her up, while they scrubbed in my face and my own feets, choked me with their till I threw up multiple times, made me drink my one on my face and in my mouth. I was forced to swallow all that fecal cake, and a bunch of other unexplainable ISIS. After doing all this, I was thrown in the water, and the boss told his bodyguard to get me out of the water. He then gave me a big towel to cover myself. I was shaking, crying uncontrollably. I could feel my bleeding, and my swollen vagina full of bruises and sore. I smelled filth, a mixture of urine and acid sperm. Checked into my hotel around 4 a.m. in a state of shame.
Yeah, what this woman went through was extreme. I mean, imagine the women that continuously go back to Dubai and continue to do it. You have to wonder, in what mental states are they in? You are basically physically and emotionally tortured. You are put in a situation where you are made to feel less than human, basically dehumanized. And although you seek to find an escape, someone to blame, you always end up looking inwards. And deep inside, you know you have no one else to blame but yourself. But the love of money is the root of all evil. Some of the women get used to this ordeal and it becomes numb to them. Like the girl early on in the video, whereas with others, it has a more detrimental effect.
My friend came to see me around 9 o'clock, saw me in this condition, and told me, "My dear, you'll get used to it." I remember seeing her on a boat last night. Like me, I asked her why she didn't tell me what was going to happen. She told me that not everyone has foreign practices, sometimes it's just sex, really, and that she didn't want to scare me by taking the risk of turning down the proposal. I was shocked how she could put me through this. Today I feel dirty. I lost my humanity, my dignity. I want to die. Everything I got, those expensive gifts and million-dollar purchases in exchange tonight, disgusts me. Months go by, and I still smell feet, urine, and spit in my mouth as if they're being deposited in me now. I needed to talk about this, because no one knows what she's been through until today. Except my friend. She destroyed me. I know she will read it. I just want her to know that she ruined my life. I don't even know if I'll ever have kids one day. I'm so broken. I think about all the time. I think I'm going crazy. I hear voices whispering where there's silence. I close my eyes and remember that moment, and they just laughing and having fun. I feel hero of those feats everywhere. I sometimes catch myself screaming and crying with no apparent explanation. Thank you for not judging me. I made mistakes and trusted the wrong person. My greed and ambition today makes me pay dearly. Thanks for reading me.
This is really sad. But take a moment, look around, and appreciate the things that you got, because there's always someone that's living a harder life than you. Do not get lost in the lives of fake IG models. And as for the girl, do I feel sorry for her? I mean, yeah, even though she was willing to prostitute herself. What is your perspective?